All right, we were watching a game from Zatch, aka Elon Musty. Um, he is high champ 3, got grand champ 1 and a couple other game modes, but not finding GC and 3s this season playing solo queue. So let's take a look and see what we find. Nice season 4 legendary baller tag. Alright. Right off the bat, solid mechanics. Our team's not in a great spot right here. We had a little bit of a miss by a teammate, and let's see, did we do anything? I would play in a way that I expect the back wall player to grab this at champ 3, so it's all good. All good. We're not here to figure out why we lost this game. Spoiler, it's a loss, but what we can do to just improve our chances overall. And we go for the challenge. Touch to the side, potentially teammate. We're pointing back towards net there when we land, which it's not what I would have done. So I would have been landing facing my own goal here just to go with momentum, since we have tag with full boost or Tagosaurus with full boost in the midfield. So maybe a small decision I would have done differently. Good quick rotation, going back up mid. That feels like a strange turn to me. We don't know where our third is. I think it's fine. But if you don't know where your third is, you should take control of this, since you know he wasn't middle since you just cut that rotation. And we do take control, that's good, and we see our third. Go for a little pass. Just looking at that again, just from watching this rotation, where do we see? We see Knopf rotating back. So yeah, so that's a fine rotation here. Okay. Go for a little pass middle. Little flips back. We're getting the save, good. Taking control. A little bit of an off touch, but that's okay. We're following the play there and then rotating the, okay. So I'm guessing you're a twos player by the way you play, and if I'm wrong there, apologies, but this rotation is not necessarily what I would do in threes, but let me take a look. So we've given our teammate the ball. We know we have a teammate behind us. I think here I actually like the flip up is fine, right? Like we're following the play. We're a little closer to our teammate, but that's okay. It's a slow ball, so we want to be closer for the challenge. But then here, I would almost always expect a third to go for this, whoever was in back rotation, because it's going across the field. And we're chasing across the field here, and to be fair, we don't see our third, so it's not a terrible decision, but I don't know, I feel like in a fast, in C3, GC1, we're not usually going to win this ball, right? So I would have either started rotating defensively a little bit, given the trajectory of this ball towards their corner. But we do full challenge. Like I said, not a terrible thing, just something to think about. And then, okay, let's look. So here, obviously really solid, defensive play, but we do double commit and then say, hey, we're double committing all the way. We don't trust Tagosaurus to get this, which I don't think is a bad decision at all. And we're waiting that side. Not a bad challenge at all. Our teammate misses that. So nothing crazy there. Decent kickoff. Everything really aggressively there. Nice touch though. we do have a third that's playing very passively, and I'm assuming you kind of noticed that and are adjusting your play style. So you never know if this is like representative of all the teammates you're gonna have, because obviously like you're gonna want to change your rotations and stuff based on who you're playing with. So forgive me if I call out some stuff and you're thinking in your head, yeah, I kind of changed the way I played a little bit this game because one of my teammates was being what's his name? Intoff. Like Intoff's being pretty passive. Maybe just like a slower player. So maybe you're changing your play style there, but I'm noticing like here you're good, and then you're trying to figure out, should I go? And then you look like you're rotating towards the ball again, which would cut your teammate off. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, that's like a classic twos rotation, right? Where I think after this, we should watch this game from Intoff's, or what's his name, Intoff's perspective, just to see what your gameplay looks like to him or to them. Because this is a very twos turn, and I'm almost guarantee you he's expecting you to rotate defensively here, which is fine. Then you hesitate. So, I mean, at this point, like, you see him here, it probably caught you off guard, so I totally get it, but like, full send, right? Like, your teammate is right there with you. Cover a different area of the field by just like stupidly running at the ball here. Which you do. It's just there was a hesitation there, and maybe he just caught you off guard, but yeah, but nothing crazy. I think you made the right move by like boosting forward there. We're rotating back. Good, I like that into the offensive. Okay, okay. Here's another maybe like twos moment where, all right, you see this hit, makes sense to go for this ball now. Like, I totally get it. Like, you don't see anyone on the left side of the screen here, but you have a good game sense and know, hey, there's probably someone there. So you're thinking, I'm going to start turning towards this ball. And then you slow down because you see your teammate recovered. That's fine. I think this is a solid play too, turning back towards net. And then you're like, okay, I'm not going to get this, so I'm rotating out. But then you rotate, you can see, okay, you see your teammate here, and you still keep rotating towards wall for like 3 or 4 car lengths. All right, rotating wall, and then you back out. I really just think having a threes game sense of, and you hear your teammate actually behind you too. So here, have the game sense to maybe not go as close to the wall, or right here, just immediately turn back towards net. Yeah, okay, look, and that would have been a, you could have maybe gotten up and challenged, but that's okay. We get up for that. Good challenge. Let me think here. I think, yeah, going for this is the right move. And you see your teammate actually has it. Okay, I think I'm noticing a theme here. Maybe another sort of twos habit. Like, after this flip, your teammate is there. I mean, I know you go for this ball and he turns off, so that's okay, but now you've created a challenge where the touch is less predictable by your teammate, who is still in the same space, the same field area as you. And so there's not a great chance that they're going to have a decent touch off that, right? Yeah, now they're out of position. And while I totally understand the sort of motive here of, okay, my teammate just turned around in net, let me flip. And then here, maybe you're thinking he's hesitating too much, or you don't want a touch to happen, but like, what's the worst case scenario on this touch if you didn't go for it? You would already be on wall or in net. And what's the best case scenario for this challenge? Maybe it 50's dead and your teammate gets it. I don't know. I don't think that's a good move. It's very like twos-esque. Good, waiting for the pass. Let's see what you do here. Great decision. That's nice. You can go for it again. Good. Rotating back. Ooh, okay, nice. I'm just gonna take another look at that. So like we make a decision here with our teammate boosting in front of us to still kind of keep going in the same area of the field he is. And you still don't really know what's your, maybe a demo is your goal here. Okay, boost steal, I like that. And look where your, okay, wait, look where your teammate went. So he's there, and then you kept going, and then he's like, okay, well shoot, I need to turn around and rotate defensively now. Even though one of you guys could have already been in a good defensive position. Yeah, and then they get possession, and then he's defending from behind. Nice. Good touch on the ceiling. Okay, this is like the super nitpick, and it is mechanical, but there's no reason right here not to boost or double jump straight down from the ceiling. Or jump straight down from the ceiling, like use your jump instead of turning around and then wave dashing. Like, just get to the floor quicker. But very small thing. All right, we get a good touch. Turn left here, get ready for a touch from them. Good, we should be up like immediately for this. Nice, nice. Solid rotation. All right, yeah, there's another sort of like cross field, cutting off your team's rotation. One, as soon as you see they're gonna go get that boost, like before you flip, think about when you're flipping, and like try not to flip when you know you're about to have to make a decision based on something that's happening on the field. Probably something you know, and like it just happened to happen here, but like you need to figure out what you're about to do based on if they get this boost or not. And you have 44. And so I would, and you're already going supersonic. Like there is no reason to flip right here. And so like feather a tiny amount of boost, wait to see what happens in the corner, then make, you know, when you flip, you're committing to a direction, right? And so think about that. You flip here, but they've already gotten the boost. So now you're in kind of a little bit of an awkward spot, have to rotate front goal, go on the offense. Then you're cutting across field again. So, and Noodles is backwards. Merciless is in the air. Intoff should be coming for this ball. But at this point, with how many times you've crossed the field, he's probably starting to get kind of wary of going for things like this. And he could also just, you know, be playing at a slower pace, right? But this is not a cross I would do. Okay, now he is up, so he was sort of waiting. Good touch, though. I mean, like, your mechanics are really good. Nothing keeping you from GC there. And a nice shot. Excellent. That's fine. Nice. Do we go fast? At this level, I think just you got to be aware right here of where their third is when you make that first touch. Alright, so you see their third pick up that mid boost. So after that touch, you got to know he's going to come challenge you, right? Like, or if you don't know he's going to come challenge you and your camera's at this angle, you got to think about making a quick another touch. But they do get the touch, that's okay. We do a long rotation. Good. Do we wait or do we go? Let's see. We do go. So we see our teammate rotating net and we decide to go. I think that's fine. Yeah, your teammate could have kept going straight, I guess. But nice little soft touch to try to keep control. Good 50. Okay. And then again, you see Intoff right there, right? And you flip and you're like, okay, shoot, he's going to get that corner boost. And so your first thought seems to be, well, I'm going to go for side boost then. I think that's just another case of cutting cross field in front of someone where now he doesn't really have, or they don't have anywhere to really go in the play. So you can hear them behind you. And now I bet if you guys are all in a line, if I go to none and then fly cam, let's see, are you all in a line? Yeah. So now we're covering such a tiny portion of the field as a full team of 3 because you went from here, flip here, saw your teammate there, and instead of like kind of turning midfield to cover this whole area, you flip towards this mid boost. I know you needed boost, but this just puts your team in a bad spot where anything that goes cross field, Noodles can come up for a pass in the mid. Yeah, think about, I mean, we're just seeing a lot of cross horizontal across the map movement that's probably causing confusion in the rotation for the team. All right, yeah, now you're in the right area of the field, so that's solid. Good, and we should go up for this, of course, and we do, and great score. Good stuff. As always, take all of this with a grain of salt. I'm not perfect. I just call things that I see. I may be wrong about any or all of them. So yeah, use any of this you want, disregard any of it you want. A little funky kickoff. Teammate just totally missed that. I like that fast approach, rotating back now. Yeah, good. We get the touch. Nice. Love it. Continuing with it. I like it. And nice shot. Sorry, I'm just checking something on your like aerial movement. So it definitely looks like you're a like air roll left, air roll right player. I was just noting that I use free air roll. Not a comment of a feedback, just observation. Alright. We follow our teammate here. Yeah. Just like a note here. Where is your teammate supposed to be right here? Like this is a good 2's position. But if you're the third, it's a little bit of a weird position for a teammate to be in because it's like, should I be middle waiting for a pass? My teammate's kind of far away from, blocking something on the wall. Or should I be defensive? Well, then we're in the line again and I'm kind of crowding my teammate's space. So maybe it's less, I say positioning, but think about more like spacing on the field. Maybe it'd be good for you to like find critical moments in replays and just pause and look at where are all 3 of your, team members and why, like, what did you contribute to that? Like, are you taking up the right space on the field? And it looks like you were playing this sort of, third shadow position, which is fine. We do a little rotation here, jump again. Oh, sorry, car rotation. And we should go back corner. Nice. Rotating up. Oh, that's a bad boost grab. Okay, yeah, immediately. Really small thing, but like, I don't know if this leads to a goal. Could lose the game, right? You can hear the person to the left off screen. You can't see them, but you have 50 boost. You have to know that you should, go straight for this ball and not get this boost grab. When you turned right, I kind of immediately was like, uh-oh, that might lose him the challenge. And it did lose possession. Good. Very nice mechanics there. We point right. Yep. Excellent. Oh. That's funny. We should be, yeah, we should have been expecting a pass there, like, and you were, is what I'm saying. Your teammates didn't deliver, but uh-oh. Now, I don't think that you did anything wrong here, honestly. I mean, oh, that was weird. This is a fine decision to go for. That's a great touch. Your teammate wasn't ready. A long overtime. Alright, what we got? Nice challenge. Again, you're going across the field. So this is probably another two's habit. But, I mean, here, your teammate, one of your teammates should be up there. But at this point, after you flip, like, you're flipping, I think, a little too early when you're about to have to like make a decision. But that's a good rotation back afterwards. I think that's fine. Taking control, get it up quickly. Oof. I like the weight here. That's good. Close. Nice. I'm just taking. We go cross field again, which I think is okay. We're getting ready for the. All right, if you are gonna go across the field here, grab a boost and then position yourself for a pass. Like, you go up immediately for this. You go, like, it doesn't matter if you think it's gonna be a bad shot. You know you should know their third is defensive right now. And maybe that's another thing with threes versus other game modes, whichever you play more, is keeping track of the extra player, right? Because it's not only the difference between twos and threes isn't only about like your own team's rotation, but also the opposing team's rotations, right? And understanding when you have time versus when you probably shouldn't have time, right? Sort of the spidey sense, and your spidey sense should have gone off, earlier when you grabbed the little side boost pad and lost the challenge over on the other side. And then also right here, your spidey sense should be going off of, I need to get to this ball pretty immediately. Instead, there's like a pretty big weight here for you to jump for this. Nothing really came of it, but just a note. We're going back offensively. Our teammate misses, which puts us in the last position. This is fine. Expecting that pass. I saw you. Kind of. I don't think you had to really like fully turn around there. Is there? Unless there's some like danger I'm missing. Maybe if Merciless goes up the wall, that's fine. But you are kind of a little no man's land here where you can't challenge for that, and it's over your head. We should go for this immediately and try to clear. Yeah, nice. We're going again. Yeah, again, sort of across the field, non-committally, right? Like it's. I'm trying to think of how to say this, but we flip once, and then we see this touch. And I think your teammate's coming for this, or you should be thinking that your teammate's probably coming for this. I mean, you back off here, so I'm, maybe you're coming over here just to cover off the challenge. I think that's fine. But if your teammate's coming for this and Tygosaurus is rotating back, like, you should be rotating forwards for a potential pass. Nice touch. Decent. All right, you did it again. You're rotating towards your teammate who is on the side right now and clumping up your team. I'm assuming. Like, I'll check in a second to make sure I'm not wrong, but you hear him over to your left. You still flip this way. So probably like right. Let's see. Probably like right here you guys are decently close together. Let's check it out. Yeah. So you guys are kind of same little area of the field again. Let's actually watch that from this perspective. So here we go. All right, look at this beautiful triangle. And instead of sort of staying either defensively around the middle or going up for a potential, challenge in this area, you are instead coming over to where your teammate's going and crowding the field and cutting him off. And now he has to slow down. And now you went all the way to challenge, which is totally fine. If you were middle, he probably could have been there. And then you could have been mid for the, now the offensive player is here to try to go all the way over here versus if you were, staying midfield and he went to challenge, you would have been a lot closer. But not the craziest thing in the world. Let's go back to you. All right, nothing crazy. We're crossing all the way across field again. So here, I'm pretty sure I would have went for the mid boost or some boost pads around mid. But that's okay to kind of go offensively here. But as soon as I see this touch, I would not have flipped across, right? Our third is over there. He's going to take care of that. Like, let's put our team in a better position. It's okay to be like, I hate the term ball chasing because it can mean so many things. But for me, the main thing I'm seeing again and again is that you have so much horizontal movement that you're putting your team in slightly strange positions here. And so now you rotate back. And at this point, they already have possession, right? So if you would have rotated back mid here, right here, as soon as you see that touch and kind of what's going on here, again, again, sort of a committal flip when we didn't need to, right? But even, on the other side of half, let's see, let me go to flycam and let's back it up one. So we see you there. So I would have gotten that mid boost and probably rotated back this way. But totally understand that, hey, maybe this drops closer in front of net and I can get it. And your teammate's currently around other mid boost. Here, I would have rotated back through this path and then set up right about, this area. And so now you're here and look, yeah. Because your teammate's coming to challenge from this direction. Something might end up happening middle. Now you're like here with decent boost, maybe be able to challenge that. All right, let's keep going. We do a full defensive rotation, which is totally fine. Cautious, yeah, good. I like the slow touch, let your teammates get some boosts. Pop it maybe. Didn't work out for us, but that's okay. That is a really good across the map rotation. You saw your teammate flip for boost, you go to cover the defensive position. Solid. Nice. Do we pop it up? Very good. What do we do here? Again, we're crossing the field. You might be a little faster than your teammates, but it doesn't help. Even if you're going to have a better touch than them, they're going to be so out of position that it's going to feel like your teammates are so much worse, right? Even if we get the ball faster, maybe win one or two more challenges, than if we would have given them the space, it's going to feel worse because then they're going to be out of position and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, my teammates are slow. They're not getting the ball. Meanwhile, they're going to be wondering, is Elon going to cross the field for this or is he not? And so, Intoff here is in a much better position and potentially your third to be up for this, but we cross the field in front of him, right? So we're right here with him. So we turn off. And I'm assuming that our third there, Tygosaurus, was probably right around the boost you're at now. And then when you crossed the field, he had to go middle and back up a little. So they get position at the half, make a shot, or take a shot, excuse me. Let's see if we trust our teammates to grab this one. I like that. That's hard from how much they've missed earlier, but good stuff. Nice touch. Very good. Close. Good. Pop it up. I think that's a solid challenge. I think mechanically you're at a level where you should be able to get that above him or to the side of him, but I've seen you do it before. Whatever. We all don't play perfectly 100% of the time. No worries. We go ball side here, which I think is solid. I like this bump a lot. Kind of messes up our teammates. I don't think I would have touched it, but it's okay. And then I definitely wouldn't have went up for it like that. Like I said, just because I wouldn't do it, that's just my instinct. That doesn't mean it's not doesn't mean you did the wrong thing. Solid. Let's get back down. We're again just kind of crowding our teammates' space here. Like following our teammates. Like here, just go middle. Like allow your third to play that sort of defensive position if this touch doesn't go perfectly, right? But instead we come over to the left. We're in the same spot as our teammate now. Yeah, I just think it would have been better the other way. Did they score here? No. Okay. Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Once again, we talked about it, but crossing the field, it's okay to shadow or like go for this ball. I probably would have went for the bump or even the double bump, right? Merciless into Resurrects. But instead we're slow challenging all the way across the field when we can hear our teammate. And now we're both in the same position and we didn't touch the ball here, right? And so like imagine a world where you bump Merciless, maybe go for the bump on Resurrects, and then right here, you just turn defensively. Let's just imagine you turn defensively here. So we don't touch the ball, so we haven't affected the play right now. If you had to have turned defensively, your third could have gone up for this with really no to little danger. But since you've played this way across the field, if they do go up, it's a potentially dangerous play if Merciless gets a good clear. Or maybe they're just like, okay, well now I can't go up. And maybe they get demoed by Resurrects or something. And yeah, look, they I swear I didn't watch this before. That's funny. Yeah, they couldn't go up, and then they're getting chased down by Resurrects. And they get demoed. Okay, that forces us to try to like play a slow ball, which is a good decision. Nice job there. And then we sort of don't know if we want to play defensively or offensively again, but play third. Good rotate out. And they end up scoring. Dang. Okay. Let's just look at that play one more time. So look where Tygosaurus is. That's a really great touch, right? Tychosaurus has like 30 boost. I mean, maybe he's rotating. I guess you don't really know where he's rotating right now. But you would assume probably middle-ish, right? Through a couple boost pads. You know the back corner boost is probably not there. And so if that's the case, like, at this point, go wall, right? Like, let your teammate play offensively instead of trying to play this, like, sort of hybrid position where we give that touch away. You can hear your teammate right behind you, right? So I think they were expecting you to sort of play a little bit more towards the middle right here so that they could go get that or turn defensively, but instead we go for a little touch. Let's just take a peek at where our teammate is right now. Apologies on my horrific control. Yeah, so he's right behind you, but let's see what led up to that, right? Does he rotate through middle? Oh, okay, so this boost was here. And so yeah, he's now going middle offensively. So really you could have honestly probably even kept challenging that more, going for a bump or something, but we back up. That's okay. And then we kind of just get chased down. Okay, so honestly, main things I'm seeing obviously is that cross field cutting off of rotations. Let's quickly look at your teammate's perspective on one or two of them. I know this video is probably going to be pretty long. Hopefully it's helpful. Let me know if you have any feedback or if you're like, actually this is not useful at all. That's fine. No worries. All right, let's take a look at Intoff. Overall, like, this felt like a frustrating game to me. If I would have played in this game, like, I would have been frustrated at my teammates. Like, I felt like your teammates were not playing very well, especially Intoff. But obviously that's not what we're here to do, right? We're not here to talk about why did we lose this one game. We're talking about like, okay, what are things we can improve about our own play that'll help us win the extra, I don't know, 2 to 5% of games that helps us climb. Okay, let's skip through this for a minute and just take a peek. All right, so he sees you go up wall. He should go offensively. We lose possession. He's going up on the wall here. Misses the touch. It's tough. Alright, he sees you going up. He sees you rotating back. Alright, he should go offensively here. Yeah. Your other teammate should have been more defensive, but that's okay. As an aside, like, if you would have left that for Intoff, he probably would have been able to clear it, opposite side where there's not a lot of opposing team members. But from your perspective, we saw, you were going for the save. I think that's totally fine. And then, yeah, you can see what that touch did, right, to your teammates. More of a mechanical thing. I think you just got a little bit in front of the ball, but now they both have to turn around, spin some boost, be in a backwards position. Then they all turn again with you. So now all three of you are sort of clumped up and out of goal and facing the same direction. He gets a really good touch there. You can see, I don't know, I like that jump. I see you miss, so he has to go for it. And they score a goal. So, like, from when we were watching from your perspective, it was like, dang, your teammate just like missed an open save. And they certainly could have potentially played better, but here, this missed challenge made him go up a little early for the potential backboard hit. Just something to think about. But he's just floating through there. Nice, they see you up. All right, that's what it's looked like from his perspective, right? So Intoff knows he needs to get into this play, starts going forward. You cut in front of him, and he's just kind of like, well, I guess I'll be middle, and then he's out of position, right? And then misses the save, but he was going for the redirect, so that's fine. And see, there's a point where, from his perspective, he sees you middle, he's like, sweet, I'm putting this high, but this is the one where, you had rotated towards corner, not seeing him, and then weren't close enough to sort of go up for this challenge. And he's probably thinking, where was my teammate? Nice challenge by him. You could have passed it back to him, but whatever. I think the little play you made also wasn't bad. Whew. Crazy. There's sort of another example, right? We watched it from your perspective, but he's up, right? He should be going on the offensive, and then he just sort of sees you flip and go also over there. And so now he has to turn back, and the team's just in a like weird position now where he's also, again, back defending alone from an air dribbler. We're just going to look at one more play. Trying to think about where it was. Yeah. So that's the touch we were talking about where I wonder if Resurrex would have gotten that, in which case I would have been wrong and it would have been a decent play, but you cutting across field here, right? He's already up and boosting, and so honestly, it's a good touch by you. If it was a good decision or not, you can think about, make a decision. But y'all got the goal off of it anyways. And this is where we were all in a line. That was the other one I was talking about. All right, so from his perspective, he sees you go up. He sees you rotating back. And now you're coming across the field to that mid boost. So then he goes back offensively, or excuse me, not offensively, but towards the middle of the field. He'll score again, so it all works out. But you can see from his perspective, right, where he's having to waste a lot of boost, sort of moving forward, then hedging backwards, sort of again and again. And I'll stop it there. We don't have to go through the rest of the game. But anyways, those are some of the things I noticed. I try to call out a lot of stuff in these videos. So like I said, some of it I could just be totally wrong about. Hope you're able to get to Grand Champ soon in threes. You very clearly have the skill to do so. And also the decision making to do so, right? Just a couple of those twos habits, I think, that are probably confusing your teammates more than anything. Potentially like making them waste a little boost, maybe putting them into a position every 1 to 3 games that lose 1 goal, right? Which may be dropping your win percentage by 3 to 5%, which then drops your overall MMR down to like staying even instead of gaining 5% MMR and getting up to Grand Champ. So seems to me like a lot of it, like just like small things. But anyways, hope you found this useful, and yeah, let me know. Thank y'all.